Well, Happy New Year and welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, kicking it with my trusty sidekick, Sports Director Chris Dewar. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. How were the holidays in the Shuckman household?
They were wonderful. How were the holidays in the Dewar household?
Busy, hectic, and then a lot of basketball, but they were good. It was a good time.
We were able to see a lot of basketball between Christmas and New Year's, and we've seen a lot of basketball in the few days since, which gives us a ton to talk about tonight.
People think we were off because we weren't here last Monday.
Right, no.
There was very little off time over the holidays for either one of us.
Well, and the interesting part this year was we had 5 days of holiday tournament action.
We did.
Because we had the Sunday in the middle, but we actually had games on that Sunday, which was different. Some of the tournaments took Sunday off. Collinsville Prairie Farms Holiday Classic did not. And so Quincy High School played twice that day. And then we had games throughout. It was a lot of fun.
So speaking very candidly here, I'm getting older, and I can kind of feel all those from morning to night tournaments with the camera on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So what was weird about that, Chuck, was you shoot from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you do that for 2 days straight, and just about the time you get beat up, you had 2 days off because you had New Year's and New Year's Day or whatever, and just when you started to recover, it was right back to doing it. So my shoulders are barking still from all the travels.
You're just old.
I am old and broken, but this happens.
We all are.
This is part of the process.
It is. It was a lot of fun, though. And for me, probably the best part of the holiday tournament experience is just talking to people. It's just seeing people you haven't seen for a while. I made the trip down to Collinsville one day, got to see Kevin Jones, one of the officials who will be doing games at the Quincy High School shootout coming up at the end of the month. But some of the other officials I've known throughout the years from going down there so many times, and it's great just to catch up with those guys.
It is, and it was sort of a blur between Macomb and Waverly and Bloomington and all that, and every one of those tournaments feels a little different, has a little different atmosphere, has a different crowd, has a different event. I mean, it was really fun to kind of bounce around and do that and see all the different venues.
Well, and like you go to Bloomington, the Bloomington State Farm Holiday Classic and Bloomington Normal. You're at several different schools in several different locations throughout the Twin Cities.
Right.
Then you go to Beardstown.
And you're there.
And you literally have to walk about 15 steps between the high school gym and the middle school gym where games are both going on.
Well, and that's such a madhouse with that first day with all of those games back and forth, staggered by the half hour. And they do a really good job running that tournament.
Yes, they do.
But it is a monstrosity, much like the State Farm Classic, and you're looking at your checkbox. Where am I going to see Quincy Notre Dame? Whenever am I going to see the Quincy High girls?
Right.
Where do you see the Central girls? And I'm a big fan of going to the Shirk Center. I didn't get to do that this year, but I think games played there just have a different feel.
I would agree. And one of our guests coming up here at about 7:15 will talk to us about playing at the Shirk Center because that's Quincy Notre Dame's Jace Allensworth. And they won the championship of the small school boys bracket over there.
And man, has the hype blown up on Quincy Notre Dame. I think there are a lot of people right now talking very seriously. Is this the best 2A team in the state right now? And I think the evidence suggests that. Now, they've got a tough schedule ahead this week, including a big one on Tuesday, and a really tough place to play in the Route Dome, and Route coming off its first loss of the season, which should make for an interesting showdown.
But Aaron Britton, who does Nesto Hoops, released his first rankings of the new year this morning and has Quincy Notre Dame number 1 in his Class 2A rankings.
And he was teasing that as early as last week, just based on how good the Raiders looked and the number of different ways they won against different types of teams over there. It's like this team is built to be versatile in the way it matches up with folks.
Well, then you come off that, and then you turn around and beat a very good Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin team over the weekend. Just kind of validated what they did in Bloomington Normal.
And that one may have impressed more people than
I think so too.
The sum total of the work at Bloomington Normal. So, again, that Raider team is a lot of fun to watch. If you haven't seen them yet, you owe it to yourself because they could very well be on the verge of something very special.
Well, and another team, again, they won't see each other in the postseason, at least at the sectional or super sectional level. But West Hancock boys are coming off a title at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament where they played incredibly well.
I spent a lot of time talking to Jeff Dahl over there just because there is a ton of downtime in those tournaments, especially between sessions. And I think Jeff Dahl was very pleased at the fact that you know what you're going to get from Hunter Froman. You know what you're going to get from Cooper Knowles. I think a lot of those guys who you would call that secondary tier of guys who are connectors for that team really kind of broke out. No one more so than Braden Hurt, who had come in really struggling with his shooting, hit 3 threes against Mercer County, which was 2 more threes than he had in all the games prior, and suddenly he looked like Braden Hurt again. Yeah. So I think that's big for them.
We're going to hear a little more about those guys a couple times during this show.
Okay.
I know in our adjustment of the week may pertain to West Hancock.
Yes, it may.
And we're going to have Cooper Knowles join us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline right around 7:30 tonight. So.
And I'm to understand we also have one of the gurus of the entire Macomb Western Holiday Tournament on tap as well.
Yes, Justin Keene of the Bomber Sports Network will be joining us to talk more about that tournament and what lies ahead. You know, I think that Macomb team is good. He's actually covering the Macomb girls tonight before he joins us. They have a 6 o'clock game tonight at home. So he's broadcasting right now as we speak, and then he'll join us in hour number 2. And then Culver Stockton College women's basketball coach Jeanette Bergen is going to join us at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Her team is playing well. Record-setting moment for Avery Otten over the weekend. Pretty impressive win for them over Graceland on Saturday.
Yeah, when you can 9 threes, that's a pretty good day at the office, and 40 points, which is a 45-year-old record, I think, for them. So incredible performances on the college front that might have slipped off radar a little bit.
We've briefly mentioned Quincy Notre Dame. We mentioned West Hancock boys. Is there anyone else that jumped out at you over the holiday tournament sphere that you went, let's keep our eyes on them as we move forward?
I think a couple. I think when it's going well, Brown County is dangerous. Now,
boys or girls?
The boys.
Okay.
The girls are very good. I don't know that the girls yet were ready for the type of challenge that West Hancock is.
True.
But I think the Brown County boys, when it pieces together right, that's a very dangerous team.
Yeah.
They just have not yet found equilibrium. They are really good, or they're not what they're supposed to be. There's not a lot of middle ground. I thought that was impressive. I thought Illini West, which you and I kind of predicted on the boys' side going through, has been incredibly impressive.
And you caught some heck for us calling them a sleeper at Macomb.
Yeah, Bill Rasmussen was not happy with us throwing that voodoo on him, but they lived up to that billing. And, and it was, there was a lot of Wesley Robertson. There was a lot of, Ethan Carlisle. But it was Miles Weir, doing big things. It was Cash Jones down low doing big things.
Which I was
them.
impressed by.
Yeah, he's played really well. So Illini West is going to be a team that gives a lot of people fits during the course of the season. They don't have any one thing that you look at and go, oh, that's an incredibly difficult thing to deal with. They're just kind of built different and very well coached.
I was able to go to Beardstown a couple times during the holidays. Very impressed by West Hancock.
West Hancock is very, very good.
They obviously, Jaden Clymer can do so many different things. Championship game of that tournament against Brown County, she scored 2 points. Yeah. But did so many things well, and their freshmen are so good.
They are. The 3 of them are going to be, and I think they're starting to go from being freshmen within a varsity construct to starting to assert themselves. You've seen it with Katie Lemaire. You've seen it with Miss Euskis. You've now seen it with Macy. Yeah. Yep. Those are 3 really good players that we're going to be talking about for years and years to come.
Agreed. And I really like Grace Grodhouse running the point for that team.
She's really come a long way. Yeah. She really has. And there are times, if you kind of squint your eyes, she kind of looks like Mom.
Yeah, she does.
So.
Yeah, and she's got a little bit of Dad's toughness.
She does have a little bit of Dad's toughness. That's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Genetically, you can win there.
Not bad at all. Got to see Brown County, got to see Liberty there as well. I think Liberty's a team that could cause some people fits at the Class 1A level, especially if they get out and go a little bit.
They have that ability. They have all the pieces that you need.
They do.
We have not yet seen them, and maybe now we think a little differently of West Hancock.
Right.
But, from a girl standpoint, they are very much a gathering storm.
Yeah. So, and then the Brown County girls, you mentioned that. I don't know. There's something missing there for them to be elite.
Well, they have to figure it out.
Yeah,
and
that's what
I think now you've been punched in the mouth twice.
Yep.
Now that's and better now for David Phelps and his crew than down the road when you can't do a thing about it.
So saw a lot of good things. We also saw some not so good things from some teams.
We did.
We saw, the lowest scoring output from a Quincy High School boys basketball team in 80 plus years in the final game. And the interesting part of that was the final game of the Collinsville Prairie Farms Holiday Classic where they lost to Decatur Eisenhower. And it's that consistency.
Right.
They don't know how to play at the same level of effort and energy. Play after play after play after play.
That's a pendulum swing after playing so well the night before. Who saw that coming? Based on what they did in the game prior. So, again, there are teams that kind of rode it a little bit.
Yep.
One of the things that I remarked over and over again during the course of this is, I don't care who you are, that first quarter coming off the Christmas break, whether it's been 8 days or whether it's been 1 day, is always ugly.
Yep.
Nobody ever looks connected.
Nope.
It never looks fluid. So, and I saw that with the trip over to Louisiana for the People's Bank and Trust shootout as well. Some of the Missouri teams that had been on longer hiatuses struggled a little bit as well. So I think the basketball will get progressively better now that people have knocked off the holiday rust.
And we've got a lot of basketball coming.
And really good basketball with all our shootouts and the traditional January tournaments, which are some of yours and my favorites.
Yep. So we got a lot to look forward to there. We also still have football being played tonight.
Yeah.
With local interest.
With local interest on both sides of Quincy.
Yes. So Illinois State playing for the FCS championship tonight against Montana State. End of the first quarter, Montana State's up 7-0. Quincy Notre Dame product Wyatt Mueller, Quincy High School product Rico Clay are both redshirt freshmen for the ISU team. They are in Nashville on the sideline at the game tonight. Neither is suited up, but they are there as part of the ISU program.
And it's the second straight night that you and I have been able to go to our televisions and watch Quincy products play for national championships. Last night, Division III, where North Central was trying to repeat with the Lavery brothers there.
Right.
Neither of whom got to play last night, obviously, based on what we saw. But, I mean, that piques your interest right away. And I love watching Division III football. I just do. It's
that was a really good game.
Yeah, it was a great game. And so North Central kind of did what it doesn't usually do and turned the ball over a lot.
We don't want you to turn us off, but if you want to sneak over to ESPN and check out the Redbirds,
we'll forgive you.
We understand.
Yeah, we'll forgive you.
We understand. We are going to take a break, though, right now because our first guest is in studio ready to join us. Jace Allensworth, Quincy Notre Dame senior, here to talk about the Raiders and their undefeated start when we come back. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Well, it's the first Monday night of the new year, Chris Dewar, and we got our first in-studio guest right here in the CDS Office Technology Studio.
I tell you what, somebody who's played basketball as well as anybody in the region, starting about this summer and moving forward. So this is a heck of a way to start 2026.
Jace Allensworth, Quincy Notre Dame senior, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thank you.
You guys are off to a tremendous start to the season. For you, what's been the best thing you guys have done as collectively as a group?
I mean, we just come out there, play as hard as we can. You know, we got a special group of guys, and we know that. You know, just come out there, trust each other, and just play hard.
Jace, the basketball experience at Bloomington Normal with the State Farm Classic is different because you are lumped together for a bunch of days. It's kind of the bunker mentality with your guys. What's challenging about that? What do you like about playing in something like the Classic that gives you that chance to be kind of basketball immersive?
Yeah, you know, just spending that time with their boys, and those are some good teams up there. And I think we came out there and really, people weren't expecting us to go up there and really dominate those teams by, plus 20 points every game. So it's really special.
One of the things I know you guys have experienced over the years is how much fun you guys have at the team hotel and doing things together. Were there any Madden tournaments or anything crazy like that this year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We had college football going on, little tournament, and, all sorts of stuff.
But aside from that, you guys had the opportunity on your day off to go to the University of Illinois and attend a practice, Coach Underwood's practice. What was that like for you guys to experience being at a D1 college practice?
It was really, really cool to see. Their practices are definitely a lot more intense than ours. Those guys get up and down. I mean, dunk after dunk. It was really cool to see that.
How much for you do you pay attention to that now, knowing that your college future is secure across down at Quincy University? Just kind of picking up and soaking in tips to make that transition a little easier next year?
Yeah, definitely to see, the level going after high school to college. There's definitely a jump, and, just go out there and play hard.
Was there a moment when you were at that practice you went, oh, wow, Coach Underwood can get after it?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely an intense dude. He would go from intense and then cool. He'd really get on his dudes, though, and that's really.
But Coach Altmix was telling me that he spent time talking to you guys. This wasn't you guys showed up for practice. He said hi and went about his business. Like, he came over and chatted with you guys and stuff. He seemed very personable.
Yeah, definitely a very personal guy. He came up to us, asked us some questions, asked who was the best shooter, and, just asking a bunch of questions like that, so it was super fun.
You can take the boy out of Western Illinois. You cannot take the Western Illinois out of Brad Underwood, who still keeps a lot of tabs on this area.
Yes, he does.
I want to talk a little bit about the defense you played, Jace, over there at the State Farm Classic, because in a semifinal game, you held an opponent to 26 points. That had to be a source of pride for you. I know you guys love to score and get up and do what you do, but holding somebody to 26 points in a Final Four game in a tournament of that magnitude, how much does that reaffirm your belief in your defensive side of things?
Yeah, we know we got guys that can score any given night, come out and score 20-plus points, but what's going to win us those big games is definitely our defense, just trusting the guys off the bench to come in, because, we don't need anyone to come off the bench and score points. We just need come in, play hard, play defense, and
Well, and it also seems like you guys don't care who scores. Like, it's, okay, you had a good night, Bo had a good night, Robbie had a good night. It doesn't matter as long as you guys are playing defense and leading to those points. Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely unselfish, and, we've worked on that, and we're going to find who has a hot hand of the night. If someone's down, we're going to pick them up, and, if they're shooting lights out, we're going to find them.
Obviously the holidays were fun, but the schedule gets kind of crazy good in January here. Trip to state-ranked Jacksonville route this week, which is going to be fun. Parochial powerhouses in the area. You've got the shootouts coming up. For you, how important is this January period to start connecting the dots for regionals, which are going to be here in a blink?
Yeah, we're going to have some tough games. Route's going to be a good game. So, just go out there, keep doing what we're doing, keep playing defense, and we should, win all these games.
You come off of the State Farm Holiday Classic with good vibes. You got to turn around immediately after the new year, and play Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. Yeah. How important was it for you guys to make sure you maintained your focus going into that game?
Well, yeah, we knew right after that Joliet Catholic game on the bus ride, we started talking about SHG and how that's a big game, and scouted them out, and we went in there, knew it was going to be a tough and physical game, and, did our business.
Chuck kind of talked about it earlier in the year. I kind of picked up on it seeing you guys at the State Farm Classic. There's really not a style of team that gives you guys problems. What is it about who you guys are and how you're built that kind of allows you to deal with whatever somebody's throwing at you, regardless of scheme or defense or whatever you're looking at, Jace?
Yeah, we've got really everything. If a team tries to throw a zone at us, we got guys that can shoot it lights out. If they play man, we got the size. We're just going to find the mismatch and take them there.
Our guy Ben Marth talked to you the other night after the SHG game about the spin moves.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that are moves like that, or the way you attack the rim? Does it just come naturally, or are those things you consciously work on?
Both, I'd say. Most of it's naturally, but just feeling out your defender mostly. And spin move was working, so I kept doing it.
Taking you back to this summer, and I got a chance to watch you over at the Quincy University shootout, and you put on one of the best performances I've ever seen in summer against Father Tolton, and not long after that, Brad Hoyt offers you. I know how much work you put in, but how validating is it when a college coach looks at what you've done and sees, okay, there's a guy that's really paid the price and elevated his game?
Yeah, it really means a lot. I went in there, played hard, and he noticed that, so yeah, I got the offer. It's really special to me.
Why did you accept the offer? Well, what was it about playing at QU that made you go, I want to stay in Quincy and play there?
Brad just going there. They're having a good year this year, and I really like staying close to home. So I can go watch my younger brothers when I get older, and yeah, it's just really cool.
Before you get to that point, there's business still to be done here. How much do you look at the way the bracket broke down in advance? I know it's one game at a time and everything, but you have to be cognizant of what the potential shape of the postseason looks like at this point.
Yeah, definitely looking at other teams and how they're doing, but mostly just focus on what we can do and, just going in there day by day and working hard.
How much did playing football help you as a basketball player?
Oh, football is definitely a big factor, I'd say I'm pretty physical on the basketball court because of football, and that's really just toughened me up to be who I am today.
Biggest thing you think you guys need to improve? It's hard to build on better than what you've done to this point, but I know Coach Altmix is probably in on something, and there's something he doesn't like at this point. Biggest thing that you guys need to do to get where you want to go from now between here and March Madness, Jace?
I'd say it's just the little things, boxing out, getting those easy rebounds, definitely making our free throws because that's something we need to work on, and defense is what's going to win us those games.
I want to go back to something you said earlier. Coach Underwood, when he was talking to you guys, asked who the best shooter was. Who is it?
Bo Efting. I got to go with my boy Bo.
He shoots it pretty well.
Yeah, he does.
Hits a golf ball pretty well, too.
Yeah, he does.
He's a talented guy.
Yeah, he's very talented.
You don't shoot it too bad yourself.
No.
But that's not your game. Mm-hmm. You're not going to stand on the three-point line.
Yeah, for sure.
How would you describe your game?
I would describe my game as, catch, shoot first, but 50% of the time I'm going to drive it and try to get a basket at the hoop.
Who is the most underrated teammate you have? Because we talk about guys and we kind of look around and we play compare and contrast, obviously, but you see it every day, Jace. Who's the guy in practice who you can't live without, who might be the hidden glue that keeps you guys together?
I'd say Gavin Dolman. Gavin, some days he's automatic from three, and, he's a really tough, athletic guy, so I think he's underrated.
The dude on the football field could just do things that make you go, wow. Does he do that on the basketball court ever?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Have you had a moment there where you went, wow, he just did that this season?
Oh, yeah. There's a couple times where, I didn't know he could do something like that.
You've been pretty blessed, Jace, because you obviously get to play at this great program at Quincy Notre Dame, and the window is starting to close on what's been an incredible high school career. How much are you cognizant of how valuable these last couple of home games are that you have? How much are you excited to kind of enliven the pit just a couple more times before moving across town?
Yeah, definitely, soaking it all in while you're out there and making the most of it, playing hard, playing like it's your last game every game.
Chris mentioned the pit. What's the atmosphere in there like for you? What's it like to play in the pit?
It's super special to me. All the fans, I think this year, we've really grown in fans because, we're undefeated right now. So obviously you're going to want to have guys come out there. And we've seen guys from, across town, Quincy guys, other people from around just come watch our game. So that's super special.
I know before Christmas, you and I talked, and several of us talked about the 0 on the end of the record. Does it matter?
I mean, yeah, it matters. I mean, for other team to look at us and see that we're undefeated, it definitely makes them think, wow. So, but going into postseason, we're not really being the 1 seed. I mean, going into the postseason, which I think we could be. I mean, you don't being what I'm trying to say, like being the underdog is sometimes better than being, the 1.
The 0 doesn't matter then. Mm-hmm. It's about winning that game.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Altmix talks about that a lot, doesn't he? What's the best piece of advice he's given you guys?
I mean, definitely he pushes us to, he doesn't think we're at our limit yet. So he definitely pushes us at practice every day and always reminds us that we're not where we could be.
Chuck started this conversation talking about how you guys have come to this point. And nobody cares who's undefeated. Nobody cares who's ranked number 1 in the state in January. But the fact that you guys are getting that respect, considering all the hard work you put in and you were sort of ignored preseason, is there something at least a little validating in that, Jace, as you kind of gear up for the wars ahead?
Yeah, definitely coming in, I think we were a little underestimated. So definitely had a little fire in us. So coming out now, playing games how we're playing, really validates.
That fire's not going to go away, is it?
Oh, no.
I like it. Big game tomorrow night, going to Jacksonville route. Only a couple games over the next couple weeks. It will allow you guys to be ready for the stretch run, won't it?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to come in tonight. Really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you on the court here again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. That's Jace Allensworth, senior guard on the Quincy Notre Dame boys basketball team. The Raiders undefeated. The Associated Press state polls come out this week.
Yeah.
We know that Nesto Hoops, Aaron Britton has already released his polls, so we'll see what the rest of the state, if they coincide. I know that was discussed on our email chain for the AP voters. I'm on the voting poll for that. I think I'll put him number 1.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, what evidence can you use against them at this point?
I can't.
Yeah.
And I've seen them in person, so I know how good they are. If you haven't gotten out to the pit, make sure you do. This group's special. This group plays really hard. To me, that's the thing. We know they have talent. We know they can shoot the basketball. How hard they play defensively, to me, is what sets them apart.
And one of the interesting things in just watching them again is how hard Greg Altmix works on that sideline to be sure that they are engaged at every moment. It's a mature group, but again, I just think you get that vibe set from the top, and it kind of distills through the rest of that roster.
Be fun. It's going to be a fun second half of the year.
Going to be a good second half of the year. You're right.
We are going to take a break. We're going to talk more about another team that's playing really well right now when we come back, because Cooper Knowles, West Hancock senior forward, will be joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. So make sure you stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
I want you to stop for a second and think of somebody that's really hard to buy for this Christmas. Well, you got it? Well, now give me 25 seconds to prove there's something for them at your local Farm and Home Supply. And it's on sale now through December 24th, including 20% off all boots and shoes. And get 30% off our entire toy department. And everyone needs at least one more blanket. Take 30% off all throws and blankets, including this #1 rated softest blanket by our blanket snob. If you can't come up with anything, visit your local store at their gift tables to find some inspiration, like this.
See all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman, right here in the CDS Office Technology Studio in downtown Quincy, along with Sports Director Chris Dewar.
You trying to top yourself here? I mean, it's great guest after great guest tonight.
Well, you know, when we've got so many good student athletes in this area, and everybody's had success over the holidays, we got to talk to them as much as we can.
We do, but I think you wrangled up a really good group. Kudos to you.
I tried.
What a way to start 2026.
I tried. And so we are going to go right now to the Hess Auto Agency hotline and talk to one of those guys who's had a good 2025 and a good start to 2026, and that's West Hancock's Cooper Knowles. Cooper, how are you tonight?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Awesome. Hope you had a good holidays. I know the holiday tournament went well, but did the rest of your holidays go well as well?
Yes. I mean, winning that tournament finally for my senior year definitely capped off the holidays. But yeah, I had a good holiday.
Do you have a New Year's resolution, Coop? Do you have a New Year's basketball resolution based on the fact that I think right now, coming off that huge win over a Jacksonville team that was red hot coming in, you guys are probably playing your best basketball to date?
Yeah, we're playing pretty good right now, but I mean, Coach Soul always says we're a good team right now, but we can always be a great team. So we're just going to continue to work and see where our weaknesses at. But I'd say our team's New Year's resolution is probably hopefully to win out for this 2026 season.
Nice.
Cooper, what was the thing you were most impressed with or most pleased with that you guys did during the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament?
I thought we came together well with the team. I mean, I thought for a 1 seed, we had a pretty tough road to the championship. I mean, Farmington first round, they're definitely not their record. They're missing 2 of their best players. They came back. They gave us a tough game. We barely squeaked by that first game, but we had Mercer County, Canton right after that, and Canton's a really good 2A team. They're over there, Central Illinois, playing pretty big teams every night, Mid-Illini. So I'd say it's a pretty tough stretch. So if we come together and we played how we did, I was real excited how we come together and just stay composed and finish it off.
You were one of the least selfish good players I've ever seen, yet you did win the MVP. Does that mean something special to you this past week, Coop, just in the fact that kind of the things that you do, sharing the basketball, blocking the basketball, defending the way you do, were rewarded with that award?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice winning the MVP, but I just really wanted to get a win with my team out there. But I mean, I'm not really looking to score first guy. I like if I get double or triple, I like to kick that to my teammates where they can hit an open 3 or be valuable on the defensive end. I mean, I can score how many points a game, but I'll try to wipe off as many for the other team as I can.
Well, with that in mind, Cooper, and obviously there's a lot of highlight plays you've made, what do you enjoy more, throwing down a dunk or swatting a shot into the bleachers?
I mean, it really depends on the game, and it's pretty nice getting a good block there. That still brings a lot of energy to the team, and it kind of makes the other team think twice about when they're shooting baskets close in the paint. So it kind of throws them off a little bit, and it helps the offensive side a little easier. So I'd say it really depends on the moment of the game. Probably a block in a close game almost. I feel like it helps us more.
I don't want to dwell too much on the dunking, but I'm going to here for a second, just because we've seen you come so far as a guy who works so well above the rim. And I remember your sophomore year you threw down, and now you're throwing down college and pro type dunks. When did you get that confidence in the air, Coop, that you could do some of these things that we don't ever usually see around here at the high school level with your ability to play above the rim?
I'd say maybe starting early junior year. I mean, I got a few dunks over there in that Jacksonville tournament that it's kind of hard to explain, but once I was in the air, I just decided I could do it, and once I knew I could do it, there's nothing really that could stop me once I'm in the air. But yeah, once I try to do the best thing I can to get the energy up for my team to keep things rolling on the offensive end.
A lot of people will just say you were destined to be a basketball player because of your size. But when did you fall in love with the game where you went, I want to play basketball. I want to play basketball every chance I get?
I'd say when I was young, I mean, I played basketball since I could, and my dad, my uncle, my cousins all played basketball, and they've always been a basketball first family, and we've always watched it. And ever since I could, I loved it and playing and growing up. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely been my first sport for my whole life.
I want to talk a little bit with you about the progress you guys made as a team, because you opened the season about as hard as you can at the Kevin Brown Memorial in Washington, playing some nationally considered teams at that point, and it kind of gave you a punch in the mouth. How have you guys gotten better from that? Because it appears that you've really grown since that first week of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a heartbreaker first game to Washington there, which would have been a nice 3A win, but we just, I guess, went out there and knew that I mean, we're not supposed to win out there. I mean, they're nationally ranked teams, but once we saw we could kind of play with them a little bit and kind of get our stuff going, we got that confidence that we could play with anybody out of state. And once we did that, we just came together and knew we could play anybody in the state. So once we got rolling with that and just started to see how other teams play, I think it was just all great from there.
Cooper, because of the recruiting interest and because of the past performance, a lot of people knew about you and Hunter. Who on this team, though, is somebody we should know about who has a role that you're going, they help us win every single night? Who is that guy?
Well, we got so far right now, who's playing pretty good is Wade's playing pretty good right now with his three-point shooting. I mean, he was the top scorer at the championship game at Macomb just because, I mean, I try to dish out corner threes all the time I can get, and he had a lot of threes there. Wade's playing really good on a three-pointer, but I'd say Braden Hurt and Jordan Crowley are really stepping up for their senior roles with their obviously three-point shooting. Crowley was a little shooting better than Braden, but Braden's on-ball defense has really helped us. He picks up full court and guards our point guard, but he puts pressure on them, which makes teams harder to get in their offense. And, yeah, I'd say them two seniors really stepped up in their role.
You touched on your family, and I think you know that the West Hancock environment is different, and you can feel it in the crowd because you know how intense your fans are. What's it like playing in front of that vibe? Because, you know, I can hear people yelling at you during the course of the game, and I'm sure you can too. It's a little different being a West Hancock guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I definitely hear my family all yelling at me a lot. I try not to listen to them all the time because, yeah, my dad and uncle get a little crazy in the stands, but it's always nice having that big of a fan base back us up. I mean, it was crazy. Second home game last night the other night versus Jacksonville, and first one since early December, and it was a really huge crowd. It was really nice. That was probably what helped us get a win there at home. Just the energy in there was insane. I mean, there's so many people. It was so loud. It was really awesome playing in front of the home crowd.
Cooper, you guys win the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. The West Hancock girls win the Beardstown Lady Tiger Classic. What is the environment like now with both teams having so much success? Is there excitement everywhere you turn for basketball in Hancock County right now?
Yes. It's really fun when both boys and girls can can't just go out and dominate like we have been so far. But yeah, they went and got a win the same night we did, and they actually replayed their postponed game of the Brown County tournament, and I think won there, Brown County, which is a pretty big win down there in Brown County when they're playing Brown County. But yeah, it's definitely really fun when we both can dominate.
So before you were even born, Jeff Dahl won a state championship. And obviously, I know what a great coach he is. What's that experience like playing for him? Because for people from the outside, there are times that Jeff Dahl looks like the most intense human being on the planet.
Yeah, it can get intense sometimes, but he definitely has the experience behind it because of the state tournaments, state title he has. But yeah, it definitely gets intense there. But when we all come together and just listen to what he has to say and run his stuff how he says it, it usually works when we get the game going and just execute his stuff.
Cooper, I know the recruiting stuff is always ongoing. Are you able to kind of put that in the back burner, at least in your mind, and go, hey, I'm just going to focus on playing for West Hancock and leading this team as far as we can go? The recruiting stuff will play out on its own. Is that how it is?
For me right now, yeah, I'm just trying to play with my team and trying to focus on my team because, I mean, if we're playing good, that's what college coaches want to see. You want to come from a winning program. So as long as we keep playing how we are, and that's what I'm going to keep focusing on coming up.
There was a moment in Macomb just during the middle of your championship game where I looked around and Tim Parrish was there. Craig Weir was there watching his son Miles, who had a really good game against you guys, really nice player. There are a lot of Hancock County legends. You have a chance to be that guy. How special is that? Because you have grown up in this tradition. How special is it for you to be doing this in Hancock County with, all this excitement brewing because both the boys and girls teams are good? How much do you feel like this is a real privilege and honor just to be able to do this here, Coop?
It's real special. I mean, because the fan base here we have is just amazing. I mean, no matter what, I think we are still, even if we're not playing IDA, he'll still cheer for Warsaw and West Hancock, and just once you're a part of it, you're just around in the area forever, and they know them guys that for that state title team, and it's just real fun to be able to stay around your home area and know the fans back you up.
Well, and with that in mind, you've got the Hancock County tournament coming up here in another week or two. Mm-hmm. Is that important to you guys to go win a tournament like that?
Yeah, I mean, we won it last year, so we obviously want to go back to back and defend the title. But it's going to be the same rematch, I hope, versus IW, usually how it is in the championship. But we'll go out, play. I think it's in Bowen this year, so neutral floor again. So we'll go out and just try to defend our title again and keep it back where it is.
You guys have a lot of work to do between now and regionals, and a lot of good teams left on the schedule. And, Coach Dahl did this intentionally to test you guys, to get you ready. You've seen what the bracket looks like and the way things break down. How much do you, I know you're in the moment now, but how much do you allow yourself to think a little bit about what you have to do to get where you want to go at this point? And how much are these tough games? I know you've got Jacksonville Route at the Superfan Shootout, which should be another big game for you guys. The win over Jacksonville is huge. How much is that kind of fodder for building to where you want to go?
Yeah, these games are really big. I mean, playing against these ranked teams, we got, you said Route. We got Q&D coming up here. That's going to be in February. Riverton Shootout in February, usually a really good shootout to go down there and play. We got Williamsville this Friday. Another big. We still got Brown County, Brown County, which is going to be a good game. But all these tough games at other people's gyms and our gym will set the environment for what maybe a regional championship might be, which we're hoping to get seeded well with these big wins over it coming to March.
Well, there's a lot of games to be played between now and then, and a lot of opportunity for you guys to do something special. And we look forward to seeing what happens. I know you do as well. And we really appreciate you taking time to join us tonight to talk about all of it.
No, absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me.
Keep up the great work. It's been super fun to watch you.
Thank you. I will.
Awesome. Thanks, Coop. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
That was Cooper Knowles, the West Hancock senior forward, joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Again, I loved his answer to, do you like a dunk better or block shot? Because his block shots The dunks are great. Don't get me wrong, but when he blocks a shot, you feel it.
I don't want to be prisoner of the moment guy, but I've said for the last 2 years now, he's the best shot blocker I have covered. The timing, the ability to get up and do the things that he does. The great thing about Cooper, though, is he was mature enough. He could have relied on that. The fact that he continues to grow this game. You've seen him shoot as a stretch guy now.
Yes.
The jump shot is so much better, and I think a lot of that owes to his AAU time spent, but he's really invested himself in the game. And like Jace Allensworth, this is a young man who's got a really bright future,
without a doubt,
but he's still hungry.
Yeah, he is, and that team is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun to watch that team develop toward the postseason. That's a good team.
It's a really good team when they're playing well.
Yep. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got an adjustment to make.
Ooh.
Courtesy of him and Dr. J. So make sure you stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
When you trust your healthcare needs to MDH, you'll receive the highest quality, compassionate care from our nationally accredited medical departments and award-winning staff. We are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing exceptional care right here in Macomb. We also accept Aetna, HealthLink, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and most other insurance plans for your convenience. McDonough District Hospital, your regional healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Not sure you're ready for retirement? With over 25 years of experience, the team at Benson Financial Group will meet you right where you are and craft a plan that's right for you. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Chris Dewar, after all the miles spent covering holiday tournaments and the time in the Highlight Wrangler.
Yes.
Which took you here, there, and everywhere.
We did put some miles on the new Jeep, yes.
And that's a good thing.
It is a very good thing. Thank you, little Jess, by the way.
And it no longer smells like ranch, right?
I made sure that it happened, and I'm not ready for that story yet. Okay. I'm still scarred from that trip to Macomb. Still very badly scarred from that whole episode, but thank you for bringing that up.
But
yes.
Because of all the time you spent with the camera on your shoulder,
yes,
and all the miles spent in the Jeep Wrangler,
probably time.
Did you need an adjustment when things were all done?
I'm so old and broken. Yes, I could use constant adjustment. And thank goodness I know a guy.
You do know a guy.
Dr. Justin Felsman, Justin Chiropractic.
And that leads us to this week's Adjustment of the Week, brought to you by Adjusting Chiropractic.
Which, by the way, we talked about what a great passer out of the post Cooper Knowles is.
Yes.
What a setup from him, not knowing that
that was
here
perfect
tonight. Because we're going to talk about the championship game and the adjustment that basically West Hancock made in the second half against Illini West, which he touched on. Find the guy with a hot hand. And at this particular point, with Illini West doing a really smart job collapsing in, the guys in the corner were open. And as Cooper wisely touched on, one of those guys, Wade Gooding, had a night of nights. He was really the difference in the win. Not the guy that I think a lot of people would have talked about, but 15 points to lead the way in that championship game.
Without a doubt.
The hero of that game, and I think it's kind of changed the way people view West Hancock, and it kind of changed the way that Wade Gooding, asserted himself that night to become that extra guy. And you need that third scorer on a given night with as much defense as they press. So here's a chance to enjoy the adjustment that was finding Wade Gooding when Mr. Gooding had the hand hot.
There you go, the Adjustment of the Week, brought to you by Adjusting Chiropractic.
Tired of that old sports injury taking you out of the game? Give us a call at Adjusting Chiropractic to see if we can help you get back to living your life and doing the things that you love and enjoy doing. Now back to the guys. Here's the play that adjusted the outcome of the game.
So you've got Wade Gooding, you've got Braden Hurt reignited, and you've got Jordan Crowley, who has quietly been so good from the jump this season.
And I will be honest, watching those games, I was able to watch some of those on the live stream, and then obviously your highlights, and our guy Shane Halsey doing that stuff. But the thing that jumped out at me, Jordan Crowley, how hard he played.
He does.
And Cooper Knowles mentioned it. The on-ball defense and those things. I like the pieces that are around Cooper Knowles and Hunter Froman, and I think those pieces are getting better.
Well, and don't forget, they did all of this with Jess Scott playing on a bum ankle the entire week, and he's such an important piece because as we saw when Cooper got in foul trouble, which doesn't happen often, but he did, Hunter Froman had to carry everything, had 29 points that game. So they're getting really good at problem solving.
But I again, to have shooters that can knock down shots. It's not just guys that are going to chuck it up there.
No.
But you got to be able to knock them down. And I thought Wade Gooding did a great job of knocking down shots.
He did.
Especially those corner threes.
And Jordan Crowley, as you touched on, because I know you're a fan, has been doing that pretty much all season.
Right.
And you touched on his defense. He's 6'3", but you don't realize how long he is.
Right.
Because everybody else on that team is so tall. Yeah, so
True.
It kind of falls by the wayside sometimes.
Again, I think that team's got a lot of really interesting and a lot of really nice pieces to it. If you just think, it's Cooper Knowles and Hunter Froman, you're sorely mistaken.
Well, and if you play them that way, you're going to lose to them.
Yes.
You have to account for all five guys on the floor.
So, and again, and I thought Cooper Knowles did a great job when we were talking to him of bringing up the games that are on the horizon for them. Games that maybe not are until later in the season, but could be pivotal games in whether this team proves it's ready to make a postseason run. A matchup with Q&D right at the end of the regular season. The Muddy River Sports Pizza Ranch Superfan Shootout matchup where they take on Jacksonville Route. There's a lot of interesting games in February that are as important as these ones in January.
You know this because you've dealt with the folks of Hancock County your entire career.
Yes.
No matter how good you are in Hancock County, you're never going to hear you're good from your own fan base. They're going to tell you what needs to improve, and they're going to ride you hard, and they do.
That's
and
okay.
These guys have the temperament to do that and deal with it. So I think, if you're expecting West Hancock, what were they? Were they 7th in the Nesto rankings today? Fourth. Wow, that was higher than I thought.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look real quick just to make sure. But
they're never going to rest on their laurels because the driving force behind them isn't going to let them.
The other part of that I found really interesting when you talk about the rankings and the way teams are looked at and stuff. Aaron Britton didn't didn't throw West Hancock up there high to begin with. Oh, they've got Cooper Knowles. Oh, they've got Hunter Froman. Both are getting D1 offers. He didn't just go, well, you guys are going to be up in the top. He put them low.
Well, they lost 2 incredible guards,
yes.
and they probably should have been low until they proved something.
You're absolutely right.
You know,
and again,
Grouthouse and Siegfried could freaking play.
2 guys that are playing it collegiately right now.
So yes, I get it.
Yeah, West Hancock number 4 in the Nesto Hoops rankings.
Pretty darn respectful there as well.
I mean, and you look at those teams at the top: Quincy, Notre Dame, Peoria, Emmanuel, Warrensburg, Latham, West Hancock, and Teutopolis. You know, you and I talked off the air.
Unity.
Staunton.
Yeah.
You know,
which you and I had talked about. Staunton being a team that I think people are anxious to see because there's been a lot of good scuttlebutt there.
Nashville's 11-2. I mean, you look at because
2A is a minefield.
Well, and that's what Chris and I were looking at the bracket or the assignments for the sectional assignments, and it's like, okay, Quincy Notre Dame goes south.
Yeah.
West Hancock goes north. So they're not going to run into each other until they would get to the state tournament based on the way the brackets are laid out. But it's like, okay, who's good among those teams? In West Hancock's case, you got a Peoria Emmanuel in the same sectional complex.
Right.
At Notre Dame, you're looking at who they might run into in the Super, and it could be a Staunton, it could be a Nashville.
Yeah, all those teams down south.
So, there's a lot of really good teams in Class 2A that anybody could stub their toe any given night.
I'm kind of a little disappointed because I loved going down to the Highland Shootout because it would have been a chance to see some of those teams this year.
True.
And I don't have a gauge on how good those teams in the South are. I think we have a good gauge on the North, and having already seen Peoria Emmanuel, you kind of know what the standard is. So it's going to be a really, really fun 2A race.
Oh, without a doubt. And 2A may be as good as any of the classes.
You're not the first person I've heard say that either. At least the most competitive.
Yeah, I would think so. A couple of those other classes have some high-end teams, and then there's a gap. I don't know if there's a gap in 2A.
I think you have 20 teams who you can legitimately throw out there and say, if the circumstances are right, this is a team that can make a deep run.
Well, and think about it. I'm looking at Nesto Hoops Class 2A state poll, and he's got a very scientific way of doing it and everything. He's got Quincy Notre Dame 1, West Hancock 4, Illini West 24 in his top 25. But there's only 2 undefeated teams in all of those 25. Quincy Notre Dame right at the top, and then Westville, which is down there at number 23.
Yeah, that's a pretty, Emmanuel's 7-4, but don't be deceived by that, given who they play.
Well, and like Yorkville Christian's 10-4. We know that they play a tough schedule. So, again, there's some really, really good teams in 2A, and it's only January 5th.
Well, and that's the fun of it. It's you know how the build works in this state. We start thinking about, well, if this happens, this could happen. And when we saw the bracket split, I think you and I had both wrote, it's kind of nice to have West Hancock and Quincy Notre Dame on opposite side of things for a change, so that we have 2 legitimate darts to throw at getting to state.
Now, we do have 2 teams from our wider regional spread in Class 1A. Jacksonville Route is number 9, according to Nesto Hoops' Class 1A state poll, and Calhoun's number 14.
And Calhoun is coming off a huge win over Brown County.
Yep, at Brown County.
And Route, who had looked, and I think Route kind of ran out of legs at Waverly because they had played so many games. But North Mac held them to 40 points. And North Mac must be pretty darn good if that's the case.
It certainly sounds like it. So, again, there's going to be a lot. If you look at Class 1A, 3 of the top 4 teams are undefeated. So it's a different ball game there. I still think Class 2A might be the most competitive class of the 4 in terms of equilibrium.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm anxious to see after the whole Calhoun thing. That's a team that I've heard a lot about. Got a lot of friends who talk. Dave Bishop, a guy who officiates a lot, and was talking and touting both them and Staunton. So anxious to see those teams in person.
And in 4A. Here's the interesting thing. You got to go all the way down to number 19.
For a downstate team?
Yeah. Everybody else is up north in the Chicago area. And Peoria Richwoods is the only team in Class 4A mentioned that's not from the Chicago area. That's interesting.
Wow. You know what, though? And below them, and the 25, you're right. It is. It is all Chicago. I guess that's the nature of 4A. We got spoiled the last couple of years with Quincy High.
We did.
And
we've had, Moline won the state title a couple years ago. Yes. So, we've had really good Western Big Six Conference teams. there just hasn't been one so far to rise above the rest, and nobody down south mentioned it all. Nobody from from the Metro East area. So that'll be interesting.
I think it shapes up really fun.
It does.
How much involvement we'll have beyond 2A remains to be seen, because there's always a surprise. But right now, I think a lot of our eggs are in the 2A basket when the postseason rolls around.
So, but we got a long time before that.
We do.
So we need to take a break, pay some bills, get some of our trusty advertisers, their commercials out there, and then we're going to talk a little college hoops when we come back.
Oh, that should be fun. One of our favorite people.
One of our favorite coaches, and whose team had a player go off on Saturday in record-setting way.
Yes.
So it should be a lot of fun. So make sure you stick around. Jeanette Bergen, Culver Stockton women's basketball coach, joining us when we come back. So this is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Would you stop for a second and think of somebody that's really hard to buy for this Christmas? Well, you got it? Well, now give me 25 seconds to prove there's something for them at your local Farm and Supply. And it's on sale now through December 24th, including 20% off all boots and shoes. And get 30% off our entire toy department. And everyone needs at least one more blanket. Take 30% off all throws and blankets, including this #1 rated softest blanket by our Blanket Snob. If you can't come up with anything, visit your local store at their gift tables to find some inspiration, like this.
See all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman, alongside Sports Director Chris Dewar, coming to you from the CDS Office Technology Studio right here in downtown Quincy. We had a fun first hour, a couple great guests, Jace Allensworth of Quincy Notre Dame and West Hancock's Cooper Knowles, breaking it down for us.
We did a lot of really good high school stuff in our first hour.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk some college basketball.
What a weekend it was for the Culver Stockton women.
Well, they earned the victory over Graceland in record-setting fashion, and we're going to talk more about that right now with our next guest on the Hess Auto Agency Hotline, Jeanette Bergen, Culver Stockton College women's basketball coach, joining us. Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. Obviously, big win over Graceland on Saturday. Avery Edding with record-setting performance in 9 threes, 40 points. How much fun was that as a coach to sit on the sideline and watch?
It was honestly, it was a lot of fun. You know, Avery had a game earlier in the season where she had a chance to break the 3-point record, and I gave her a chance. I put her back in. I could let her have 3 shots. She missed all 3, and I said, "You're done." You know, it was just one of those things that somebody asked me. We still had 10 minutes left in the game. They're like, "Did you have any thoughts of not putting her back in?" I said, "Absolutely, I'm putting her back in. Had nothing to do with the records or anything, but we haven't played in 2 weeks. You know, we got to get our lungs underneath us. We got to get our feet. You know." And it was just, I knew she was getting close to at least a 3-point record, so I kind of let her play a little bit longer than I was planning. But it is, I mean, just sitting back and watching somebody that pure of a shooter, it's something that at our level you don't see a lot of, but even just in general, when somebody's that hot, it's just so much fun to watch.
I think it bears noting, Jeanette, that you guys were playing well into the break. Even that loss to Columbia College, which I think turned a lot of heads with how well you guys played in that. You're playing well into the break, and then you have to take the break. As a coach, how hard is that to have to step away? Because it is mandated, and you can't do anything about it. But do you feel like a little your momentum's draining away?
You know, every coach in America hates it, you know, but at the same time, it's so much needed. We build our foundation of this program is family based. So at the end of the day, getting a break to go home and see your actual family, and then being able to come back to an extended family that you thoroughly enjoy, it doesn't feel like a break. It happens so fast that you're right back in the swing of things. So I don't love it, but at the same time, they're sick of hearing my voice. They need to take a step away. But it's a lot of fun. A Columbia College game, man, I think we just gave that one to them, which really, as a coach, kind of irks you. But you just have to continue to learn and grow, and make sure that you come back from break and have that same momentum.
Did they come back from break feeling that way? Could you tell when you got back to practice, like they were ready to go, ready to get back to work?
Yeah, I mean, the first practice back usually is always rough. The second practice, you're like, let's figure some things out. But they were phenomenal. These girls, they stepped back like they didn't even miss a beat. And that, as a coach, that is exactly what you want out of a group. And then obviously you saw at Graceland, they were ready to go. And that was just a lot of fun.
Jeanette, I see you on the recruiting trail all the time, and I know how hard you work there. And you've cultivated this roster over the course of the last couple of years. And you're playing rotations of 9 and 10 players. How satisfying is that for you? How much is that what you wanted to accomplish when you built this roster, to be able to be that rotational?
Yeah, I think that if you look back at our track record of the teams that were really, really good, you got to play more than just that 6, 7 kids. It's a long season. It's a grinding season. You know, injuries can happen. You never want them to, but those things kind of happen. So being able to have multiple players that you're confident in putting on the floor in different rotations is so vital. And that is exactly how we build this roster. And I tell our team all the time, if people look at us, we're never going to have like the overly talented players, but we make each other talented within our system. And that is something that it takes time, it takes effort. These ladies buy into that, and we're going to continue to try to find players that want to buy into that team chemistry and do some fun things, and hopefully get back in the top of the conference.
What is it about this group that's going to make them successful the rest of the way? Is there something they do really well that you can kind of hang your hat on night in and night out?
You know, one of the things that we've been struggling with the last couple of years, that my teams have never struggled with, is rebounding. I've never had a team that has struggled rebounding other than the last couple of years. So going into this year, that is something that we want to hang our hat on. Not just the offensive glass, but the defensive glass. Being able to stop teams defensively, hold them to one shot, get good rebounds, and then push in transition. So that rebounding stat line is something that I will always have my head on and my eyes on. And I continue to preach our girls that our defense has to create our offense. And if you watched our games, that is our mentality. Defense first, then let's go have some fun on the offensive glass.
You touched on that, Jeanette, but one of the things that I think that you really do well is that the ball moves in your offense. And, we saw it with Avery Edding getting those shot opportunities. A lot of those were kickouts. Does that start for you at point guard, obviously, with what you've been able to cultivate there?
Yeah. I mean, I am dead set. We have to have more than one point guard on the floor. They can't be the exact same type of kids, but they have to be dual type of threats, So we have 2 point guards that we play continuously. Avery Edding was actually a point guard in high school. Nasor Nambaro was a high school point guard. Nevaeh Beltenner was actually a high school point guard as well. And then we have our freshman, Alyssa O'Connor, that they were all high school point guards, and then within our system, it's awesome to have 4 kids that have been able to handle the ball, handle pressure, to be able to do what we want to do and be able to move them in different positions. So being able to have Avery off ball, but then put her on ball and have the last shot be hers, I think it's extremely important to have that versatility within your roster. And they have, watching the game back on Saturday, they're doing exactly what I've been hoping that we could do. And be able to move each other in different positions. It doesn't matter. Whoever has the hot hand, we can put them in a certain spot and we can get the best look, So it's pretty exciting to watch.
Jeanette, you're at home on Wednesday night. How important are these first couple of games out of the gate in the new year, because they're at home, to set the right tone for what takes place hereafter?
Oh, they're so important. Being able to capitalize at a home event is so important, especially after the break, setting the tone, going into break and being able to go down to Florida and knock out 2 wins, have some fun along the way, play really well against Columbia College, but then coming back and having that same momentum, having that same defensive drive, having that same camaraderie, chemistry is so vital. Because if you've looked at our schedule, Wednesdays we're on the road a lot, Saturdays we're home. So being able to have home, away, and then back at home, these first 4, trying to capitalize at least these first 3, it's so vital for us.
When the students are on campus, I think your crowds have been really good. And there's a lot of cross-athlete from different sports that are there taking it in and being part of the vibe. You can't take that for granted, can you? Because it's not like that everywhere.
Yeah, I've always said the reason I've been here so long is because they love women's basketball around here. And being from Indiana, being a basketball junkie, that is so special to my heart that people love and enjoy the product that our girls are putting on the court. And that is huge. Our home crowds, I thought we had a great crowd on Saturday. I wasn't sure what we were going to get, not having the students here, but our community came out and supported. Obviously, we had some alumni in the crowd as well, which was awesome. We had some recruits in the crowd. So it was just a fun atmosphere. Hoping to regenerate that same thing on Wednesday. But our home crowds are electric, especially when student body is here. If anyone has not come to a game, they need to, because it's packed and it is a lot of fun, especially when they're shooting the ball as well as we have been.
Jeanette, you've been at Culver now 13 years. How much fun are you having coaching still?
Excuse me. I kind of laugh at that because, gosh, it's been 13 years. It's crazy.
Same thing.
Yeah. But I've always told myself, if I'm not having fun, if I'm not allowing these girls to have fun within the process, I need to step away. And I'm still here. So I'm obviously enjoying the process. I have great young ladies that are fun to work with. There's never a dull moment. Every day brings something new. Obviously, with this group, we have a few seniors that I'm going to miss when it's all said and done. But the younger kids they're grasping it, and that's the piece that's fun to watch them grow from their freshman year to their senior year. not just on the court, but just in life in general. You know, as long as we're continuing to help them become who they are, better individuals, and get where they want to go, then that's why I'm still here.
Well, I laughed when you said that, Jeanette, because it seems like only yesterday we were covering you at Quincy University, and it's 13 years. Hard to believe.
It is crazy. I was joking with my sister this weekend. She came to the game, and I was like, man, I could run for days back in the day. But, man, if I stepped in the court right now, I wouldn't be able to go up and down one trip without having to call for a sub.
We know the feeling.
Yes,
the aches and pains are real.
Yes, they are. You've had some nice recruiting wins, judging by social media, with girls that I know out, and young women you went out and tried to target. How much of your success, the atmosphere that you have with your girls, your family atmosphere, is making that happen for you right now to land the girls that you want? Because the early going has been good for you.
Yeah, it's big. You know, I will never waver on that piece of the recruiting. I want to build relationships. I want them to know when they are here that they're part of an extended family, that they're going to be taken care of. It doesn't matter if they're coming from 20 minutes away or hours and hours and hours away. I want them to understand that we're here for them, not just to grow as individuals, but to help them grow as a group, you know. I think it's extremely important to continue to bring in family type of players that understand that life is bigger than just that one person. And the group that we have coming in right now that we've signed, I'm super excited to get them here. Obviously, I want to do some work here with them this season, but no doubts that I think that we will be just fine for the next several years if we continue to stay healthy, and we continue to recruit those type of kids that understand that life's bigger than themselves.
Well, Jeanette, we really appreciate you taking time to join us tonight. I know you got a game on Wednesday night at home against Missouri Baptist that you got to get ready for. So good luck on Wednesday. And again, thanks for taking the time to talk to us tonight.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate you guys coming out and supporting. So anybody that's listening, please, 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 it's a big game for us on Wednesday. We're sitting in 7th right now, but this is going to jockey a position. If we can win, we'll jump up to 6th. So that's what we're going for on Wednesday.
Awesome. Well, good luck, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
That was Jeanette Bergen, the Culver Stockton College women's basketball coach, joining us on the Hess Auto Agency Hotline. 5:30 start tip on Wednesday at Charles Fieldhouse over in Canton, Mo.
13 years.
13, I know. I had to look it up because I was getting ready to ask her about how much fun are you still having coaching. I'm like, oh, how many years has she been there? And I was like, 13? Has it really been that?
It really has gone quickly.
I know. It's crazy.
Does an incredible job, and certainly, and you know, Jeanette Bergen walks it like she talks it.
Well, and when you go and look at their results this year, you look at their record and you may go, oh, okay, they're all right. And then you go back and look at the results and everything's tight. Yeah. I mean, it's one possession, 2 possession games every night.
They figured some things out here in the stretch, and that was why the question about the break, because it seemed like they were starting to play their best basketball.
Without a doubt.
And you got to step away from that. So, again, you know, if you haven't had a chance, if you're looking for something kind of a slow Wednesday night, good chance to get to the Hill.
So, there you go. 5:30 start on the Hill Wednesday night. We're going to take a break. We're going to head back to we may end up talking a little college basketball with our next guest, too, because he keeps his thumb on the pulse of everything going on in West Central Illinois.
He does, including school board machinations and all kinds of interesting things in his world. The young future mayor of Macomb or bigger.
Right. That's right. Justice Keene will be joining us when we come back, so make sure you stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Chris Stewart, I got a quick update for you.
Okay.
Start of the second half in Nashville. Illinois State trails Montana State 21-7 in the FCS National Championship game. So we'll see what happens. Montana State with the ball to start the second half. So
Today we are all Redbirds.
Everybody around this state is feeling Redbird love now.
I think it's been such a unique run. You and I talked about this before we came on camera.
Yep.
You give up 5 turnovers to the #1 team in the country and still win. You got something special brewing. Yep. Brock's back, baby.
And it's his birthday.
It's his birthday today, yes.
First time he's ever coached on his birthday.
Well, that would make sense this deep into the season.
That's right. So we're going to go to the Hess Auto Agency hotline and talk to a guy I know is rooting for Illinois State today because he roots for pretty much everything Illinois related. I know he's a huge University of Illinois fan. We won't hold that against him.
No, and he's also a big Brad Underwood associate as well.
He is. Justice Keene joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Justice, how are you tonight?
I'm good, gentlemen. Good to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
The voice of the Bomber Sports Network covering Macomb sports on the live stream and everything. Justice, you had a game tonight. The Macomb girls basketball team at home won, correct?
Yes, we got a nice win over West Central tonight. Beat them 56-20. So nice win for Coach Elby and the girls. First year him for head coach, so he's doing a great job for us. Exciting what he's doing with the program, and congratulations to the girls on a nice win tonight.
I had a chance to talk to Justin at the Beardstown Lady Tiger Classic, and he seems to be really enjoying this team and this coaching experience. From your perspective, how has he done in his first year of guiding this program?
He's done a great job. You know, we graduated a bunch last year, and we have some younger kids, younger program with a handful of seniors in there. So it's been nice to see. You know, they've had a really tough first half of the season, played some really good teams, Brown County, West Hancock, and then beat some good teams down at Beardstown. Got a nice one over Dwight. So it's been a good first half of the season, and Coach Elby's got them fired up and ready to go for the second half.
You've done a fantastic job, particularly so last week during the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. You got to watch a lot of basketball when you weren't calling games. Biggest takeaway from you from what was a pretty loaded tournament that I know is near and dear to your heart, Justice?
It was a great tournament. First and foremost, congratulations to everybody involved on a great event. We made one of the best gates we've had at least this decade. I don't know all time, but it's been one of the best in a while. First and foremost, I would just say every game was competitive, and it doesn't seem like you get to say that very often with these big tournaments. But I mean, every game came down to a fourth quarter or a buzzer beater or what have you. So it was a really exciting week, and always great to spend a couple of days out at Western Hall.
Is there anybody that you saw that you were impressed with that maybe you weren't expecting to be impressed with when the week began?
Yeah, several different teams I was impressed with. I think under the radar, Farmington, Coach Lozer's got a good team. Mercer County has got a nice squad again this year. Obviously, one-seeded West Hancock made a nice run and got a nice championship win. But I would say, two of the teams that really are kind of dark horses in the tournament, I give kudos to John Gersnich and Blaze Kimmel with Canton and Illini West. They're doing great things right now, and two good coaches, and we played them both already this year, and we'll play Canton again and Illini West here in the new year. So kudos to them. They got their kids playing well.
You touched on Illini West, and they finally figured out a way to beat your Bombers, which I know has been a bugaboo the last couple of years for Coach Kimmel and everybody involved in that program. That game was not artistic by any stretch of the imagination, Justice, but I think it does speak to the grit of both teams, does it not?
No, I agree 100%. Both teams kind of had the fire in them from that early season matchup where we got the win over them, and they were able to get us by 3 at the holiday tournament here last week. So, yeah, Illini West is a really good team, and unfortunately, I mean, it really kind of sucks for both of the programs that, everybody's kind of stacked in that same subsectional because, you don't want to see either team get beat early on. So, but I hand it to Coach Kimmel and the guys there. They're doing a great job, having a great season.
You were with me at Abingdon. You saw Peoria Manual. Is Peoria Manual beatable?
I think so, but also I don't know. They were out without their leading scorer that day. I think Coach Jordan has a nice program over there. We beat them in Canton, of course, a couple of years ago, my senior year of high school, and a game for the ages, one I'll never forget. But, I think that come March, I think anybody's beatable. I think that, if whoever plays the best on a given night is going to move on, and, that's what March Madness is all about.
If this Macomb team is going to make a run and knock some of these teams off, what does it have to do well moving forward?
I think one of the things we're going to do in this new year is we're going to find our identity. We're going to come together and be able to kind of come together as a team and really, we got a lot of talent on the floor with, transfers of Kellen Martin and Carter Havens, and then some veterans with Drew Watson, Nolan Hogan there too. So I think, we're going to get our identity here in this new year, and 9-6 starting the new year tomorrow night in Mercer County. And I look forward to a great run into the postseason.
You touched on Carter Havens, who I think is the quintessential type Jeremy Anderson player. I sat there and watched him. How quickly Carter gets back on defense. It is a full-on aggressive sprint. That's kind of what you have to be identity-wise, because this is not the most gifted scoring Macomb team we've ever seen.
No doubt about it. He's a great kid, great player that hustles for us and gets up and down the floor, not afraid to shoot the ball either. Nice transfer in from us from Brown County, and he's been a nice adjustment into the rotation, not only in the basketball court but also last fall during the football season for Coach Horrell. So we're excited to have him on the roster, and I think he can make a big difference once we get into this new year and into the postseason here in a couple of months.
Justice, I know you helped launch the Bomber Sports Network, and you're very active in community events. Can you describe just how much you love Macomb?
I really can't put it into words. I grew up, obviously, my dad was hired here in the summer of 2012, and I pretty much grew up attending about every Bomber athletic event possible. And really, you hear about this gentleman named Dan Rouse and the passion that he had for everything Bomber athletics. And, unfortunately, I never got to meet the man, Dan Rouse. He passed away the summer. We came on to Bomber country, but I try to, pour that same pride and have that school energy and always be rooting for the orange and black.
Well, kudos to you for invoking Rouser because he was about as good as they come. Now, for people who don't know, Justice, you are also the youngest serving school board member in Macomb. You're balancing that with everything else and doing everything you else have in your life. First of all, why was that a passion for you to kind of get into educational politics at this level and at this age? And how are you able to maintain all of this in your life? Because you are one busy dude.
You know, I think it was important to me to be able to have someone at that table on the third Monday of every month that has been in the hallways, has been in the schools, that talks to the students and the teachers and the coaches and whatnot. And that was really important to me and our community. You know, I think that everything I do, I try to do with a sense of community, and to have the opportunity at 19 years old to serve thousands of people and 2,000 students across all of our buildings and a heck of a lot of good teachers and staff and whatnot. It's always been important to me. Balance has been something I've found even from before I was in high school. You know, I've been a student athlete. I was on the golf team in high school while still announcing and doing everything else. So I think you have to learn from an early age that, the priorities, of course, are your academics and then, your family and then everything else behind it. But balance has been really important to me. I think I'll credit that to coming from a family of coaches and, mom being a golf coach at Western Illinois University for a handful of years. And of course, grandpa and dad being coaches. And, I come from a wonderful family there.
Well, Justice, if people want to check out Macomb basketball on the Bomber Sports Network, where do they go to find it?
You can look up the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube. That's where all of our games are streamed. And then also we have a Facebook page. That was where the BSN originally started, Bomber Sport Net, or you can look up Bomber Sports Network. It'll come up either way. And we try to do a little bit of everything. Not only do we cover all the sports in Macomb, but we also try to do some things with IHSA and keep everything in the loop around the state.
You had a chance to be a part in a different capacity of the state football championships this year, and I know that was an experience near and dear to you. What did you learn?
I learned just the sense of appreciation for those moments. I think that any time that you're able to cover a state tournament or be invited to work at a state tournament or be just attending a state tournament, it's a privilege. No better hint of that than when we made the Elite Eight in 2024 with basketball, and then a couple of years before in softball in Macomb. But it was a really cool experience. I got to work basketball and the spring before, so football is my first time attending, and it ended up being kind of a historic weekend with some snow. And in my opinion, it was the right decision because it would have been an interesting drive back to Macomb from Bloomington with some snow and ice on that Sunday morning.
Well, hey, bud, we really appreciate you taking time to join us tonight. Keep up the great work, and we'll make sure people are following along. We'll be following along on the Bomber Sports Network. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight.
Hey, thank you both for having me. And how about them fighting Illini over the Missouri Tigers a couple of weeks ago?
Why did we let him on?
You have just
excommunicated yourself.
You are done. You will never be invited back. We love you. No more. No.
Nice.
Hey, bud. Hey, nice jab at us, and we'll
take it.
We'll take it because the Illini are good. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you both. Have a great night, and thanks for having me on.
See you, buddy. That was Bomber Sports Network play-by-play voice Justin Keene joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. He's got his hand on everything in Macomb, it feels like.
So I look over on what night was the championship game? I can't even remember. Everything Tuesday. I look over on Tuesday and on the mic headset doing color commentary, the one and only Mayor of Bluffs, Kelly Sears.
Yes.
So you want to talk about a guy who can handle anything. If you can keep Kelly Sears under wrap with a live mic in front of him, you are a special, special young man.
That's a good point. It's probably good that we didn't have coaches mic'd up on the sideline back in the day when Kelly Sears and Steve Horrell were coaching together.
You know what? As bad as you think football might have been, my favorite experience with those two gentlemen was always going to softball when they were both in the dugout together.
Without a doubt.
And particularly when games were being officiated by the Creek family. Because that would turn into, that was high drama, and there was a pretty good chance one of those guys would not see the end of those games.
That's fantastic. Oh, man, what great stuff. We're going to take a break because we got more to get to still Hey, guess what?
What?
We got to shuck them up still.
Holy cow. I'm coming blind to this one. I'm excited to see what you've got for us.
We've got Shuck 'em Up coming up, and we've got
the best wrangled highlight we had this week.
That's right, brought to you by Little Jess Motor Company. So make sure you stick around. We got more to get to right here on Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Ready to retire on your terms? At Benson Financial Group, it's about more than money. It's about purpose. With over 25 years of experience, our team works together to craft a plan that fits your goals and values in Quincy and Hannibal.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Matt Shuckman, Chris Dewar, hanging out in the CDS Office Technology studio right here in downtown Quincy. Been a fun night so far.
We've had great guests.
Yes.
We've had great commentary. And at some point, we're going to find Justice Keene and shove him in a trash can.
Not only did he start the night irking you, because he didn't mention you on social media.
He was super excited to be on live with Matt Shuckman.
Well, of course.
I don't even, well, yeah, I'd be too, but I'm here too. I told him I'm going to primary him. I'm going to find somebody to primary him in the next school board election. And I tried to keep that off air. I did that to him off air.
Yeah, and then he takes a shot
then
at
he
us.
takes the shot at us on the way out the door with the Illini. Right. He's catching it.
Yep, that's right. Well, we can harass him at games. When he's on the air, we can heckle him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that day is coming very fast. I can be very unprofessional.
He is such a great kid.
He is a great young man. Yes, he is.
Like, we call him kid because he is still only 19.
Well, we remember him when he was,
We've
very,
watched
very
him
young,
grow
yes,
up.
and become very good at what he does.
Yes, and we joked earlier when we had Culver Stockton College women's basketball coach on, Jeanette Bergen, about the fact that she's been at Culver 13 years, but because we both covered her college career.
Heck of a shooter.
Yes, and she's got a heck of a shooter on her team right now.
She does, which, if you're wrangling up highlights, was a good place to be.
It was. Saturday afternoon at Charles Fieldhouse on the Culver Stockton College campus. Taking on Graceland.
Credit and kudos to Shane Halsey, because he was the guy this week who ended up getting Avery Eddings, and we've referred to it already.
Yep.
We don't get many 9 3-point games.
We don't get many 40-point games.
No, we don't get many 40 pieces at all.
No. So she tied the single-game school record for most three-pointers made and most points in a game. Pretty impressive.
And again, I mean, you're going to wrangle highlights. That's what you're looking for.
Well, let's check out the best highlight wrangled this week, brought to you by Little Jess Motor Company. shooters get on a roll and the basketball looks the size of the hoop looks like the size of an ocean, it's fun to watch.
It is, and we might have had that situation occur tonight as well, again under the watchful guise of Shane. As Kendra Boatman tonight, 41 points, 10 three-pointers. We might have a very similar situation on the highlight. He might get the Jeep at the end of this if he keeps this up.
I don't know. He's getting a new vehicle of his own right, so we got to let him deal with that.
Well, the last thing he wants us to drive around with our faces on the side of his car.
Very true.
Yes.
We don't need him calling New Berlin, Wisconsin ever again. So.
Amen.
Yeah. So, inside joke. Yes. Anyway, but Avery Edding with a fantastic effort on Saturday and shooter shoot, and again, that's one of those when they're in a groove like that, and I'm sure it was the same way for Kendra Boatman tonight in Keokuk. Just get her the ball. Just get her the ball. Set a screen. Do a kick out. Do whatever it takes. Get the ball in her hands and let her shoot.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
Yeah, and we've seen that many times over the years, but that was pretty special, especially at the college level.
Oh, absolutely. And you consider the fact, if you watch those highlights as you just did, how pure the shot look came coming off of her hands.
Yeah,
it was. She knew
it was smooth as could be. Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. That was our best highlight, wrangled up this week by our steady crew with the cameras on their shoulders.
Tell you what, Shane gonna probably go 2 for 2 here. I better step up my game the rest of this week.
You probably should.
Yeah.
I did my first video shoot on Saturday.
How'd that go?
It didn't go too bad. I was.
You have the eye now with all the camera work, though.
Yeah, but it was different because I covered the Quincy Notre Dame Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin game, and our friends at channel1450.com wanted us to provide some video if we could. You were out on assignment. Shane was out on assignment. So I thought, okay, I'll do my best. So I set up my phone on a monopod, and then I had my camera. So I was trying to do both. And at the end of the night, it was like, okay, I got some decent photos. I got some decent video. This is okay. I can do this in bits and pieces.
The immortal Derek Paris is still talking to us, so you clearly did well.
Yes. Well, and again, it's easy to get highlights when you have two good teams.
Well, and you couldn't have asked for a better scenario. That was a really good schedule.
Game.
You had that. I was Highland Clopton girls.
Yep.
We had some great matchups this past weekend.
We did, and that was kicking off the new year. And we've got them coming throughout the week. Obviously, you're going to go head over to the Route Dome tomorrow night.
One of my favorite venues, yes.
So that should be a great game between the Quincy Notre Dame boys and Jacksonville Route.
Parochial powers at their finest, 2 top 10 teams.
2 top 10 teams with a combined 1 loss.
And they played some teams too between them. I mean, this has been a really good run for both squads. And Jace Allensworth and Bryson Mossman shooting the ball and Bo Eftink in the same gym, which is a shooter's gym. Ooh, can't wait for tomorrow night.
Going to be a lot of fun. Quick update. 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Illinois State just scored. 21-14, Montana State with the lead. Stopped them I believe in the red zone. I think Montana State got to the red zone on the initial drive of the third quarter. Illinois State stopped them. Illinois State took the ball, went down the field, and scored. So there's your quick update from the FCS National Championship game.
And if you want to sound smart to your friends, if you've ever wondered about that level of football, Montana State, always good.
Oh, without a doubt.
Those 2 programs are super fun to watch. So this is royalty at this level of football. So good stuff.
And don't count Illinois State out.
We've
seen it throughout the postseason.
Not yet.
So anything can happen. 1 touchdown game, 5:32 left in the third quarter.
That's plenty of time. It's a lifetime matchup.
That's right. So we'll see what happens there. We'll give you another update before we wrap up this show here closer to 9 o'clock. But we need to take a break because we got some oink dust ready to rain down on us we come back.
I'm anxious to be surprised yet again.
I have a Platte Daddy barbecue story for you, too, when we come back.
Can't wait.
So here we go. We're going to take a break. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, Don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Our new year started off great, Chris Dewar. It could have been a disaster for our buddy Jeremy Platt over at Platt Daddy Barbecue, who's the sponsor of Shuck 'em Up.
Yeah, I heard all about this.
Yeah, his smoker went out on New Year's Day, first day of the new year.
That's like being without your sword in battle.
I mean, that's, what do you do? Like, you can't do anything.
How do you make barbecue without a smoker?
You don't, unless you have a buddy who hauls their smoker to you to let you use it.
That's a friend indeed.
Indeed. So, Ray Ray's Barbecue and Catering out of Knox City, Missouri.
Wow.
Helped Jeremy Platt out, brought over a smoker for him to use till they could get theirs fixed. Really cool. That's a really cool
super
thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to the good people. Restaurants helping restaurants in this economy has to happen.
Well,
that's a beautiful thing.
And it's one thing, and I don't know if you've ever been to one of the, like a big barbecue competition. And again, yes, everybody wants to get up on the stage. Everybody wants to win. But it's a family event. It's not cutthroat like you might think.
Right.
You know, hey, something goes wrong. Hey, how can we help you out?
Now, I have, however, talked to our good friend Tiny Ray, who occasionally has people that he's cooked against that he's not particularly fond of. Yes.
Well, I'm sure there is that.
Yes.
But I think for the most part, the barbecue community is
Pretty
willing to
collegial.
help. Pretty collegial. Hey, you need some, especially if you make buddies.
Yeah.
And again, and that's what it sounds like. The guys from Ray Ray's Barbecue and Catering helped out our guy Jeremy Platt.
That's awesome.
So he could have a New Year's Day feast over at Platt Daddy Barbecue.
Thank goodness, because where would we be without oink dust?
We need some oink dust. We need to shuck them up. We still got it.
You haven't even given me a clue yet.
No, and again, that's okay because
it's okay for you. I need to know.
Our Shuck 'em Up play of the week, and there was a lot to choose from. And again, what I don't want it to become, and I've told you this before, is I don't want it to be it's the best dunk of the week.
Right.
We see some great dunks from a variety of players, but I want it to be a play that's impactful. It could be a steal. It could be a rebound. It could be something. And in this case, it's a rebound and a putback that sealed the deal on a championship. And it was Robbie Reed with a rebound, a putback that kind of finally put away Joliet Catholic in the title game of the State Farm Holiday Classic for Quincy Notre Dame.
I was going to ask Jace about that because Robbie has been so transformational good in 2 different sports this year.
Yep.
I mean, better than anybody knew football-wise.
Correct.
And boy, has he been a big piece for Greg Olbeck.
Without a doubt. And this play was one of those that, he just went and he shucked him up. He said, Joliet Catholic, you're done. So let's get to it.
I approve this choice.
The Shuck 'em Up. Big play of the week, courtesy of Platt Daddy Barbecue.
Shuck 'em up!
Okay, great play by Robbie Reed. Great effort by the Quincy Notre Dame boys basketball team. Great title run for them over at the State Farm Holiday Classic. But every time we sit here, we don't watch this as it's being played on live. We've already done our work, so we sit here and kind of listen to the background noise. I just love the fact that we can find free downloadable music to drop in as the background that works.
Yeah.
You know?
Heads were bobbing in commercial.
Yes, they were.
Or in the video, I should say.
Yeah. Nobody could see us.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. But, because we're both music fans.
We are music fans, yes.
But Robbie Reed, again, he's one of those pieces to the puzzle for Quincy Notre Dame that just makes plays.
His length is game-changing in so many different ways, but yes. And I love his aggression to the hoop.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes like it's life and death.
Well, and so often we talk about him, at least we have this year, the way he plays defense.
Yeah.
You kind of forget how good he can be offensively because he worries so much about defense that it's like, okay, I'll fill in where I need to offensively. We got guys that can go score. I'm going to go lock somebody down. I'm going to go create havoc defensively. Oh, yeah, I can knock down a three over here. Oh, I can go get a basket here. He can do those things. But, and then when he does them in a big way. He makes big plays.
He is the Greg Altmix archetype, the type of player that I'm sure Altmix wants every year, and boy, Robbie Reed fills that role to a T.
So, and again, we're going to see some really good games on the Quincy Notre Dame schedule as we move forward. Some big games that are going to prepare them for the postseason.
They're playing really well. The girls are starting to play well again after the hiccup to Centralia.
Yep.
So I think
they lost twice that week. Centralia and West Plains.
Yes, they did. Really good West Plains team.
Really good West Plains team.
So I think it's good to see things going well at 10th and Jackson. We haven't even touched on it. We've got a big weekend for the Quincy High girls at the Sophie.
That was going to be my next thing. We hardly touched on their effort, but they went 3-1 over the State Farm Holiday Classic, and we're a buzzer beater away from potentially going 4-0.
How badly were they underseeded? Because if they're not, the 7 seed?
No, weren't they the 10?
Were they the 10?
No, they were the 7.
Yeah, I thought they were the 7.
And they played DePaul College Prep, who was the 2 in the second round.
Yes. So they caught a really tough draw that direction.
Without a doubt.
Goes the other way. Maybe they're a team that's there on that final day.
So they go down to Columbia this weekend, play 2 games in the Sophie Cunningham Classic against 2 really good teams.
You and I have both been there. It is a uniquely fun event at one of our favorite mid-Missouri gyms at Southwell Gym.
Yep. The home of the Wiz.
The home of the Wiz.
Bob Burchard.
Yes. The house that the Stash built.
Yes.
So that should be a really good couple of tests.
And again, like you and I have talked about with the holiday tournaments of you go these places and it's a chance to catch up with guys you haven't seen for a while. You go and you sit down and you start having conversations. And next thing you know, you've been there 4 hours. You've watched 2 or 3 games, and it's like, oh wow, it's already that time. And that's the way the Sophie is.
There's also a chance you talk to Sophie Cunningham, who's now doing national commercials for some college loan outfit.
But she typically is there every year.
She's super easy to talk to and super nice to deal with.
Her and her sister, who also played it. Yes. Lindsay played at Mizzou as well.
And at Columbia Rockbridge against some of the great Q&D teams that we've talked about recently.
So, it's and again, I was looking earlier, Quincy High, one of the games that's playing there is against Stratford, which I believe is number 4 in the state in Class 4 in Missouri.
Perennial power.
Yep.
Their head coach, if he's still the same guy, was originally from Clopton, from Clarksville.
Okay.
So there's some local ties back to Northeast Missouri from that Stratford team, but that's always good. That's a big test. But remember last year when Quincy High did what nobody thought they could do and beat Principia and Deja, which easy task.
That's the Sunday game at 1:00.
Okay.
On Saturday, the Blue Devils will play Park Hill South at 2:30.
I'm not real familiar with Park Hill South.
I am not either. So let's take while we're sitting here talking.
Okay.
Let's take a quick look at the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association. If I could spell.
Yeah. Well, and we know Quincy High's playing pretty well. Again, you touched on the issues with depth, but they seem to have played very well over in Bloomington Normal.
Yeah. So, why won't it come up now? But, and we have one of our teams that's in tournament action this week, the Highland girls. The Highland tournament's going on this week. We mentioned Kendra Boatman and Keokuk in the first game of the Highland tournament today. But the Highland girls are ranked number 3 in the state in Class 3.
And deservedly so. And they were probably, an Addie Abel healthy ankle from maybe beating Clopton and handing Clopton its first loss of the season. That game was a phenomenal game. You know how big a piece Addie Abel is for them because she is that other scorer that you can rely on, and she's not quite healthy yet.
Park Hill South is number 10 in Class 6 in Missouri. Okay. So Quincy High is going to face 2 state-ranked teams in Missouri at the Sophie Cunningham Classic.
Which is a really neat way to get out of your usual conference local schedule and test yourself. And give Brad Dance credit. They've done that a lot this year, going to Tipton, now going down to Columbia again, which they found a sort of a mid-January home in over the course of the last couple of years.
Well, and we're going to see 2 of those state-ranked teams at the Muddy River Sports Pizza Ranch Superfan Shootout the first weekend in February. Clopton, the number 1 ranked girls team in Missouri in Class 2, and Centralia, the number 2 ranked team in Class 3. And the only reason Centralia is not number 1 is because Principia is there.
Well, yes, and also Centralia lost its first game to the Tipton team that's ranked number 2 right behind our friends at Clopton. So, by the way, there's a Carvajal on that Tipton team, so there's all kinds of Northeast Missouri bloodlines going on in those state rankings.
And I know in talking with Quincy Notre Dame Athletic Director Bill Connell today, the tickets are now available for the Superfan Shootout. And I look over to that lineup, and it's just like, wow. You got the West Hancock girls against Quincy High School in the first game of the event. Quincy Notre Dame girls are taking on Clopton. That's on Friday night. And the Quincy Notre Dame boys taking on Helias.
And Friday's usually the toughest day to schedule. We had a gold mine there.
Yeah, and then all day Saturday. Games begin at 9:30 a.m., go all the way to 8 p.m. And every game is fantastic. The cool thing is both West Hancock boys and girls are involved in the event. Both Brown County boys and girls are involved in the event. We got both Clopton teams. We got some really good teams coming in.
I'm super excited.
Both West teams.
And it's nice to have you on board to do this the right way. You always helped us out when I was at the other place.
Yep.
But now it's your baby as much as it was mine. So it's kind of fun to be able to blow this up big time.
And we're putting our name on it, so we're going to do some special things with it. We're in discussion on trying how to set it up. We're going to try to do Shuck on a Truck style interviews throughout the day on both days, those kind of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have coverage of every game, just like we did the Rumble on the River.
Yes.
So we're excited about it.
We are super excited, and we love basketball, and we hope you will be there.
Yeah.
Because we love seeing you and talking basketball. And I remember when you came back for the Rumble on the River, my goodness, you could barely do any work because people were coming up and wanting to talk to you and check in with you because they hadn't seen you.
Yeah, I was out for a couple days there at the start of that week. All's well, though.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so whose responsibility is it on the morning of Saturday, February 7th to bring breakfast? Mine or yours?
I think traditionally it's always been mine, so that may be my last loop into the old life there is the donut game, if you'll allow me that indulgence.
Or maybe we have to do something different.
Well, it would be nice to break with tradition.
Maybe we make some breakfast tacos and bring breakfast tacos. I might have to.
I'm keen on this.
I enjoy cooking. So,
I do know you enjoy cooking.
So maybe
that's better.
So maybe we'll come up with something, and it's healthier.
Much healthier than donuts.
So I have to think that way.
I like the fact that that's where your mind goes.
Yes, so that's where we are. So good, and again, and that's not to take away what we had the weekend before or a couple weekends before that with the Quincy High shootout going on at Blue Devil Gym, and
what a schedule and what a slate that is.
But a different style of shootout like this. The Superfan shootout is hyper local. The Quincy shootout is hyper national and hyper regional with legit top 5 teams.
If you want to know what basketball looks at the highest levels of the high school, this is a different game.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having it here is we get
without a doubt.
We get to see that.
So we got a lot of basketball to get to before we get to those 2 events. You, sir, have to get ready to go tomorrow night to Jacksonville route for a big game.
I think I can make that happen. I think I can muster up some enthusiasm for that one.
So, and I'm going to work on a couple stories and a couple Shuck on a Trucks because we're going to have decent weather this week. So it's a good time to
do it while you can.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes.
So again, Thank you to our guests for joining us tonight. Jace Allensworth, Cooper Knowles, Jeanette Bergen, and Justice Keene. It was a fun Monday night. It's good to be into 2026 and back here doing Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.